بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين.
يضلله الشحوب وتكويه النوائب والخطوب كئيب يرسل النظرات حيرا ويرسم حزنه.
Israeli forces have killed at least 27 people across Gaza since dawn on Sunday. One of the latest attacks targeted a school sheltering displaced people west of Gaza. At least 4 Palestinians were killed there. On Saturday, 16 people died in a strike on a UN-run school in Nuseirat refugee camp. And in central Gaza, the army struck a residential building in the Al-Zawaida area, killing 6 people. More than 38,150 Palestinians have died since the war on Gaza began.
Dear brothers and sisters, there's a famous story, parable, that I will narrate to you. You might have heard it before, but there are some lessons to learn from this story. It says that there were 4 cows. One of them was white and the other 3 were black. And they used to live in a dangerous area surrounded by wolves. The way they protected themselves is they were always together. They would stick together, watch out for each other. Everyone was keeping an attentive eye. And they survived, even though the area was surrounded by wild beasts. But the 3 black cows had a meeting one day. And they said, this white cow is giving us away. When we try to hide at night, because we are black, nobody can see us. But the enemy is able to see the white cow. So why don't we just let him go? The 3 of us will be together and let's just let the white cow away because he's too much trouble. So now from that day on, the 3 black cows would be on one side and the poor white cow is alone. They boycotted the white cow. Now the wolf is very intelligent. He was able to detect the disunity that was among these cows. So he made his move and he attacked the white cow. And while he was devouring his flesh, the 3 black cows were doing nothing. They were watching it while their brother was torn into pieces. But the following night, the wolf attacked the 3 black cows. Why? Because now they were 1 man short, or actually 1 cow short. So they were not as strong as they were the day before, because they let down their brother white cow. Now the wolf attacked them and was able to snatch away 1 of the black cows. And now we only have 2 left. So the following night it was even a more easy thing for the wolf, because only 2 are left. So he ate 1 of them. And then on the final night there was only 1 cow left. And the cow was trying frantically to run away from the wolf. But now this cow has no supporter and no helper. So the wolf is pursuing it with confidence. He knows that this cow will get tired and fall down. There's nothing the cow could do. Nobody to help him. So the wolf is walking around very happily with confidence and he pounced over the cow and grabbed him by the neck. And while he did that, and the cow was pronouncing his last moments on earth, he made a very important statement, a statement that is a great lesson that we can learn from. This white cow said, the black cow, the last cow that was living, while it was dying, these were his last words. He said, أُكِلْتُ يَوْمَ أُكِلَ الثَّوْرُ الْأَبْيَضُ. I was eaten the day the white cow was eaten. I have signed on my execution form the day I allowed the white cow to be eaten. That's when I died. I didn't die now. I didn't die today. I died when I allowed the wolf to eat the white cow.
فواسفا على طرف بريء إذا اغتالت براءته الكروب فتلجمها الدموع ولا جرى.
This story is a good representation of the situation of the Muslim Ummah today. This is exactly what is happening. We are watching one Muslim nation fall after another, and we're watching, sitting back, doing nothing. When Palestine was taken, we did nothing. And then one nation after another is entering into problems. We have Kashmir, you have Chechnya, the Muslims in the Philippines, and now we have Iraq. And the Ummah is doing nothing. The Ummah is watching while Iraq is being devoured. It's not going to end there, because it will spill over to other countries like Syria, and only Allah knows who's next. So those nations weren't taken today. They were taken a long time ago. When we allowed a Muslim nation to fall down, we have allowed the same thing to happen to every and each one of us. This shows us the consequences of having disunity. When these cows didn't stick together, when they allowed the enemy to snatch one of them away, this is what happened to them. They were all defeated. Dear brothers and sisters, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has given an analogy of the Ummah. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, and this hadith is sahih, it's in Bukhari, that the analogy of this Ummah is like a body. كَمَثَلِ الْجَسَدِ الْوَاحِدِ, like one body. إِذَا مرض منه عضو تداعى له سائر الجسد بالسهر والحمى. إذا اشتكى منه عضو تداعى له سائر الجسد بالسهر والحمى. If one part of the body feels pain, then the whole body would suffer two things: sahar and humma. Sahar is sleeplessness, you cannot sleep. And humma is fever. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying that if your finger is injured, if your foot is injured, any part of the body is injured, and you feel that pain, you cannot sleep. And your body develops a fever because your body is trying to fight the bacteria, fight the infection. It's trying to fight the enemy, so the whole body gets involved in that process. That is the description Rasulullah ﷺ gave of the Ummah. So if a Muslim in the east or in the west, south or north, whether it is in the center of the body or the tips, whether it's in the finger or the toes, you should feel the same pain as if it is happening to your own family. If you are only concerned about your own safety and the safety of your direct family, then there's something wrong. You're not really part of the body. Rasulullah ﷺ is saying that the ummah is one body. It doesn't matter whether they are split into different political states, or they are in different groups, or they belong to different madhahib. As long as this person is a Muslim, and a Muslim is a person who has a sound belief in Allah Azza wa Jal, somebody who's not deviant, that's a Muslim. The thing is, sometimes we look at it, only me and my group are Muslims. Why? Because he doesn't follow my jama'ah. He's not following my way. As long as you cannot prove that that Muslim is a kafir, he's a Muslim. As long as you don't have evidence that such a person is a murtad, he is a Muslim. Whether he belongs to the same madhab, or the same group, or the same country, it doesn't make a difference. Now we all talk about the importance of having unity. If we talk about unity in terms of having one group and just abandoning all of these different jama'at and all of us, and we get rid of all of these different madhahib, and we'll all just be copies of each other, that's an impossible thing to have. What we mean by unity is that even though your approach to Islamic work might be different, the madhab that you follow might be different, however, you are there to help your brother when your brother is in need. That is unity.
We have no water, no food. Who is going to look after us? Why do we have to go through war? This is where my father is buried. These are their graves here in the school. This is my father and cousin's grave. My cousin was only 10 years old.
So what is meant by unity? It means when your brother is in need, you jump to help him. That is unity. Regardless of what his ideology is, as long as he is a Muslim. That is unity. So we need to fulfill the meaning of the hadith, that this ummah is like al-jasad al-wahid إذا اشتكى منه عضو تداعى له سائر الجسد بالسهر والحمى. You need to feel the pain and suffering when you see what is happening to your brothers in other parts of the Muslim world. You need to be concerned about what's happening in Palestine and Iraq. You need to be concerned about what's happening in Kashmir, even though it's not your country. And some of these Muslim countries have problems among them. They have wars, they have political problems. But as a Muslim, it shouldn't make a difference to you. These governments are having problems with each other. But that nation, the Muslims in there are my brothers. That's how you should look at it. So we should have that concern for the Muslim ummah. مَنْ لَمْ يَهْتَمَّ بِأَمْرِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ فَلَيْسَ مِنْهُمْ. The one who is not concerned about the Muslims doesn't belong to them. And Rasulullah ﷺ says, الْمَرْءُ مَعَ مَنْ أَحَبْ. A person would be with the ones he loves. You will be with the people you love on the Day of Judgment. If you have love of the Muslims, you will be with the Muslims on the Day of Judgment. If you have love for the kuffar, you will be with the kuffar on the Day of Judgment. That's how it works. That's the justice of Allah Azza wa Jal. Somebody who loves the Muslims will be with the Muslims and will follow them wherever they go. And that's why on the Day of Judgment, Rasulullah ﷺ says, Allah Azza wa Jal will tell the people, follow the gods that you used to worship. So whoever used to worship the cross, will follow the cross. Whoever used to worship an idol, will follow the idol. Allah Azza wa Jal is telling them, if you didn't worship me, you cannot expect me to give you the ajr. Go to your gods and tell them to reward you on this day. And then Allah Azza wa Jal will take all of those false gods and throw them in hellfire, and their people will have to follow them. Because Allah Azza wa Jal is just. You did it for Him, He will reward you. You did it for somebody else, you go and ask the ajr from the other God. And there's no gods besides Allah Azza wa Jal. Allahumma ya Allah, الواحد الأحد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد يا ذا الجمال والكمال والإكرام. اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار. اللهم إنا نسألك الجنة وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل ونعوذ بك من النار وما قرب إليها من قول وعمل. اللهم إنا نستغيث برحمتك فإنك بنا راحم. اللهم ارحمنا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم يا الله, لا تدع لنا في مجلسنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته، ولا هما إلا فرجته، ولا دينا إلا قضيته، ولا مبتلا إلا عافيته، ولا مريضا إلا شافيته، ولا أيما إلا زوجته، ولا عقيما إلا ذرية صالحة وهبته ورزقته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين، ولا داعية إلى سبيلك إلا هديته وهديت به، ولا مجاهدا في سبيلك إلا عنته ونصرته وثبته، إنك أنت القوي العزيز الحكيم. اللهم يا الله اشفي مرضانا، اللهم اشفهم، أنت الشافي لا شفاء إلا شفاءك، شفاء لا يغادر سقما. اللهم اشفهم يا أرحم الراحمين، اللهم اشفهم يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم اجعل مرضهم تكفيرا لسيئاتهم ورفعا لدرجاتهم وزيادة في حسناتهم وغفرانا لهم وتكفيرا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم يا الله أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وذل الشرك والمشركين أعداءك وأعداء الدين. اللهم انصر المجاهدين في سبيلك في كل مكان، في العراق وفي فلسطين وفي الشيشان وفي كشمير يا أرحم الراحمين، إنك أنت القوي العزيز الحكيم. ونسألك اللهم أن تدمر أعداءهم، اللهم زلزل الأرض من تحت أقدامهم، اللهم احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا، إنك أنت القوي العزيز الحكيم.